And ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Daly Field at Frank R. Campbell Stadium for the start of tonight's non-conference men's lacrosse game between the Monarchs of Methodist and your Cougars of Averett University. I'm Davin Wilson, former Assistant Sports Information Director here at Averett, and I will be joining you on the ones and twos, bringing you all the big plays from tonight's game, which is scheduled to start in about 8 minutes and 15 seconds, and it will conclude today's doubleheader here at Daly Field as the women's team wrapped up its game here about an hour and 20 minutes ago, which resulted in an easy win over Brevard College. And, well, we are not here to discuss that game. We are here to discuss the men's contest between Averett and Methodist, and that's what we're going to get busy doing. So the men's lacrosse team comes in here. They opened up their home and conference schedule last Wednesday against Roanoke College. They did drop that contest in a tough loss. The Monarchs are coming off an 11-6 loss to Guilford College on Wednesday. The Cougars come in 0-5 all-time against Methodist, dating back to the program's inaugural season in 2018. The two sides last met in 2022 as conference opponents, with Methodist winning 13-8. So we're going to take a look here at some of the players to watch. Tyler Duffy, freshman, got his first two collegiate goals against Roanoke College last Wednesday, while Cameron Prutzman, also a freshman goalkeeper, recorded 28 saves against the Maroons. So a solid performance by both of those young men in their debut. Now we're going to take a look here at the starting 11 for each side. First off for Methodist, at attacker, we've got number 1, freshman Jacob Burnett. Then we've got number 3, senior defender Justice Davis. Then leading the charge up front again is senior Hunter Vaughn. Then he will be backed up by sophomore attacker Cy Horner. He will be backed up by junior attacker number 7, Mark Chatt. He will be backed up by senior midfielder number 8, Jesse Label. He will be backed up by number 13, senior defender Scott Schaefer. Number 31, Hudson James is next up, the sophomore defender out of Stokesdale, North Carolina, nearby Methodist. Then number 33, Gabe Russell, the sophomore goalkeeper out of Manassas. And then last but not least, number 44, R.J. Breeden, the freshman attacker out of Pasadena, Maryland. Now the starting 11 for your Averett University Cougars. First off, you got number 8, Lachlan Sterling. Number 1, freshman attacker midfielder Cooper Case. Then you have number 4, sophomore midfielder Jay Etheridge. Then you have number 10, sophomore defender Ty Pearson. He will be backed up by number 17, freshman goalkeeper Cameron Prutzman. Then you have freshman defender Angel Pascal Roman. Then number 22, Connor Taft, the junior attacker midfielder. Then number 23, Calvin Beavers, the junior defender. Then we can't forget about number 26, Cameron Shattuck, the freshman midfielder, making his first start here at Daly Field. And last but not least, number 93, Brayton Powers, the sophomore attacker out of Canada. The Cougars are coached by Anthony Mackin in his 6th season. He has been the original coach of this Cougars program. And then he is assisted by Anthony Munoz and Raphael Walker. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those are the starting 11 for tonight's game, brought to you by First National Bank. And sun starting to set a little bit here on the field at Daly Field, which is going to make things a little bit easier on us up here in the booth. Make it a little bit easier to bring you these numbers and the things that you need, that we need to be able to bring you give you an appropriate broadcast. And it really cannot come in time, as it was very difficult the last game got there towards the end, especially on the right side of the field, to keep up with things. But you got to be professional, and that's what we did. So, and just to go ahead and give them an early shout out here, would like to thank Landon Hendricks, Ethan Stevens, and Stanley Cillian for their help up here in the production truck. Much appreciated. As I mentioned earlier, they make me sound good, make me sound knowledgeable, which is not the easiest thing to do in the world, so I do appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're going to take a brief pause here until the start of this contest. So we will come back in about 3.5 minutes here on the Averett Sports Network.
For more than 40 years, Averett University's athletics programs have competed in the USA South. Now we begin a new era as a member of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. We will continue to build on our traditions. We'll continue to develop our student athletes into tomorrow's leaders as catalysts for positive change. With 24 NCAA and club varsity sports, we'll bring championship aspirations, high academic success, and a focus on community service. We bring first-class facilities, and we will continue to build for the future. We'll renew old rivalries and create new ones in the ODAC. We'll do it as one team, one family, one Averett.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Daily Field as we are just in time for the starting lineup. First, we got number 1, Jacob Burnett for Methodist. Then number 3, Justice Davis. Number 4, Hunter Vaughn. Number 6, Cy Horner. Number 7, Mark Schatt. Number 8, Jesse Liebel. Number 13, Scott Schaefer. Number 31, Hudson James. Number 33, Gabe Russell. And number 44, R.J. Breeden. The Monarchs are coached by Zach Nebeloski out of Queens University, Charlotte. He's in his 10th season, and he is assisted by Kevin Riodorin, Tom Kinney, and Max Buski. Meanwhile, for the now your starting 11 for the Cougars, number 1, Cooper Case. Number 4, Jay Etheridge. Number 8, Lachlan Sterling. Number 10, Ty Pearson. Number 17, Cameron Prutzman. Number 20, Angel Pascal Roman. Number 22, Connor Taff. Number 23, Calvin Beavers. Number 26, Cameron Shattuck. And number 93, Brayton Powers. Averett is coached by Anthony Mackin. He is assisted by Anthony Munez and Raphael Walker. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready for the start of things here today As I mentioned, the Cougars are coached by Anthony Mackin in his 6th season. And we're going to take a quick break here. And ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the theme song from Welcome Back, Cotter, welcome back. As we are just minutes from the start of today's game, this non-conference men's lacrosse matchup between the Monarchs of Methodist University and your Averett University Cougars. Once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Davin Wilson, former Assistant Sports Information Director here at Averett. And I am joined by Mr. Landon Hendricks, Ethan Stevens, and Stanley Stillian, and my pops, Jackie Wilson, up here in the booth. And we are just minutes from today's face-off. And this is something new that I have not seen. Of course, it has been 3 years since I've broadcasted a lacrosse game. And so both goalkeepers are heading towards their respective goals, and players are taking their respective spots on the field. And we are just a couple of minutes away from the start of this one. And once again, we ask for a little bit of patience here as the glare is pretty bad right now here on the right side of the field. And so Methodist is going to win the face-off. And it's going to be number 8, Jesse Leibel. Methodist right now with the ball behind the goal. Ball is set up. Things are dropped back for the Monarchs. It's going to be number 1, Jacob Burnett. He's going to square the ball over to number 8, Leibel. He's going to get it over to number 44, Breeden. So Averett is going to get the line cleared. We've got a mass sub going on. Man, that was quick. They wasted no time on that one. Quick blow of the whistle. Players on, players off. Nice and efficient, like you like it. So it's going to be number 11. Emmett Wood gets it over to number 77, Tyler Duffy. And there's a pass back behind the net. Ball is squared over to Duffy. Duffy trying to set it up here. He is being body checked. Good defense there by number 2, Jake Bandler. And just like that, the starting 11 has pretty much become non-existent. Keeper is out right now for Methodist, though. See if Averett can take advantage of that. They will scoop up the ground ball, Methodist. Averett fighting for it. Still no keeper in the net, and Averett's going to get it. The cross over, and number 93, Powers with a great shot, but it is blocked. There's another attempt I was unable to see. I believe it was number 1, Cooper Case, the freshman attacker midfielder out of Surf City, North Carolina, down in the Outer Banks. So number 77, Tyler Duffy, is going to square it over to number 9, Matthew Clark, number 5, Anthony Garay. And that ball is played out of bounds. So Methodist getting brave starting off as they let Gabe Russell act as a roaming safety of sorts. Averett almost makes him pay as number 93, Brayton Powers, the sophomore attacker out of Alberta, Canada. Just about finished that one. But a great defensive play. And we've got a brief stoppage on the field waiting for the clock to get caught up. So 12:35 remaining here in the first half. So number 77, Duffy. Duffy's going to rip off a shot, but it's high and to the right. And Methodist will take possession on that. Averett stays with possession. And there's a shot and a goal. Number 22, Connor Taff, the junior attacker midfielder out of Durham, North Carolina, close by Durham, is going to get the Cougars on the board and out to the 1-0 lead. So Averett had been threatening early on. Had a couple opportunities, unable to got a little bit of bad luck, but Taff will break that bad luck. The junior, 6'1" junior out of Durham, North Carolina, C.E. Jordan High School. And so here's the face-off. And it's going to be number 12, Patrick Roll, picking it up. He's going to get it over to number 22, J.R. Newman. Newman still with it. He's going to come off the field. Newman will. Methodist trying to even things up here. Good defensive play, ground ball. And it's going to be number 4, Vaughn. And here's an opportunity, number 45, Ryan Cavanis. Cavanis finishes things off. And it is now uno with 11:11 left on the clock. One's abound here at Daly Field. Frank R. Campbell Stadium. Sun going down on what's been a beautiful day thus far, especially after the kind of day we had here yesterday, full of rain and gloom, clouds, some chilly temperatures. So Averett coming off quick on the faceoff. Ball is knocked away. Nice defensive play there by number 2, Jake Bandler. Bandler trying to get his hustle on here, going down the field. We've got a quick substitution from Averett. It's going to be number 23, Dakari Pearson, with the ball, with the rock. He's going to give it over to number 4, Hunter Vaughn. Ball is dropped back. Number 1, Jacob Burnett. Burnett gets it over to Leibel. So Leibel now trying to set up an attack. Goes behind the net with it. There's a shot deflected. Methodist picks it up. Number 7, Mark Chatt. Good defense here by Averett. And we've got a stoppage. Looks like it will be going against Methodist. And we're going to have another reset on the clock here, another stoppage over the clock. So it should be reading 10:20 on the game clock, 60 on the shot clock. There we go. We've got the reset on the shot clock. And now we've got the reset on the game clock, and we're good to resume things. Tough job working that clock. I don't miss having to do it. There's number 7, Mark Chatt. Is it over to number 4, Hunter Vaughn. Methodist down in front of goal. Number 44, Breeden. Gets it over to number 4, Vaughn. Vaughn back to Breeden. Breeden gets it over to 15, Davis. Davis back to Breeden. And Breeden's going to rip off a heck of a shot off a feed from Hunter Vaughn. And he's just going to rip that one in from about 15 yards out. And Methodist is going to now take a 2-1 lead. 9:53 here remaining in the first quarter. And so here's the draw, or face-off, excuse me. Averett's going to win the face-off. It's going to be number 93, Powers. Powers is going to get that one over to number 1, Cooper Case. Case gets it back over to 22, Connor Tapp, who has the goal for the Cougars this afternoon. So number 4, Jay Etheridge. Etheridge gets it back over to number 11, Emmett Wood. Emmett Wood back to Etheridge. Etheridge is going to get it over to number 17, or excuse me, number 11, Wood. So number 4, Etheridge moving in, shot, but the shot was deflected by Scott Schaefer, the senior defender out of Apex, North Carolina, nearby Methodist. 45 minutes away. And we've got another stoppage down here on the field. They're going to want a reset of the clock. So 9:09 on the game clock. And it's a little bit of a problem right now because it's hard to hear the whistles up here in the press box for the operators. Here, the Sports Information Department right now requesting some better signaling from the officials in order to keep things up to date without having to stop. And so Methodist now in a 1-on-3 situation, going to take some time to regroup and recollect. And that's going to be number 24 there. Nate Moore ripping off a nice shot, but goalkeeper Shattuck goalkeeper Prutzman there making a nice save. Ball is dropped over to number 20, McClendon. McClendon trying to drive in, well defended by the Cougs. Ball is dropped behind the net, back out in front now. And another nice save there by Prutzman, who is proving his mettle early on here this season after he turned in a solid game in the Cougars opener against Roanoke College last Wednesday. 28 saves in his first appearance. I'd say that is a pretty good day at the office. I think Michael Scott would be very happy with that one. And so we now got a reset. Looks like it is going to go Methodist. Yep, it will go to Methodist, number 24, Nate Moore. And it's going to be number 25, Abe Zwifka. Excuse me. So we got a quick substitution there coming from the Monarchs. A lot of differences in the rules between men and women's lacrosse. Almost somewhat two different games. Number 1, Jacob Burnett is going to square that one over to number 44, Breeden. Breeden, a nice square pass over to the left side. There's a shot deflected. And that's going to go out of bounds. It looks like Methodist is going to keep possession. Referees signal the clock again. Number 8, Jesse Leibel. Ball played back, trying to get the ball back out front now. Averett well defended with 4 back to counter the 2-man attack right now by Methodist. A shot high, or it got blocked. And there is a goal. I believe it was from number 4, Hunter Vaughn. Thank you. And so that was number 6, Cy Horner. Like I said, you'll have to work with me a little bit here right now as it is difficult. Thankfully, Methodist does have very pronounced font and numbers on the back of their jerseys. But still, and number 4, Hunter Vaughn. Now this time I know I'm right on that one, is Hunter Vaughn, the 6-foot attacker out of Apex. Rips a shot that finds the back of the net. And Methodist now with a 4-1 lead. 6:18 left to go here in the first quarter. Averett's program is still very much in its infancy. 6 seasons in, first year over in the ODAC, which is traditionally a very strong conference when it comes to lacrosse. And we've got another sub here. No substitution for Methodist, as it's going to be number 20, McClendon. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors: Chick-fil-A, Goodyear, Kickback Jacks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Edible Arrangements, SDR, Danville Mall, Ballard Brewing. Just some of the terrific sponsors here. They're helping bringing you this game. They're helping bringing you this contest and these wonderful camera angles as provided by this tremendous production staff up here. And there is a beautiful goal from Vaughn, who took a pass from Horner on the left side. Horner, the Roxborough, North Carolina native, graduated from Orange, about 45 minutes from Danville. Kind of a hometown, kind of a homecoming for that kid, and he celebrates it with a beautiful pass from the left-hand side to Vaughn, and Vaughn finishes the attack for his second goal in about 3 minutes, and it's now a 5-1 contest in favor of the Monarchs. So that's going to be number 4, Jay Etheridge. Etheridge with the rock, looking to switch fields here. He's going to square it over to number 77, Tyler Duffy. Tyler Duffy switches over to Case. Case back to Duffy. Duffy over to Wood. Wood gets it over to the right side of the field to, I believe, Clark. Averett right now trying to set it up from the midfield, trying to see where they can get going. Number 4, Jay Etheridge. Etheridge running in, some physical contact down there. Methodist showing its physicality right now, and they will force a turnover. But trying to get the ball cleared as Averett is staying right there. And we're going to have a flag thrown here, of course. Picked back up. Good no call right there as Methodist was able to keep the drive going. No need to stop the ball when it's in play. Ball is dropped back. So it's going to be number 8, Jesse Leibel. So Leibel with a bounce shot that's going to take a little one-hopper out of bounds. Went to the right of the goal. So just in case you are just joining us here, I am Davin Wilson, former Assistant Sports Information Director. And you are here to watch Methodist take on Averett University in men's lacrosse action. Methodist moving to the right of your screen wearing the gold and green. Meanwhile, Averett wearing the white and blue and gold and moving to the left of your screen. Methodist holding a 5-1 lead nearing the end of the first quarter. And oh, look at that right there. Number 1, Jacob Burnett takes a nice pass from number 7, Mark Chatt, and just finishes that one off. And right now, Methodist is doing a great job of passing inside the scoring zone. And just really great job of moving the ball around, spreading it out. And it's led to an early 6-1 lead here with 3:40 now on the clock. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It's a Saturday, and there are a lot of other places that you could be, but you're here with us, and we do appreciate it. And we will do our best to bring you a high-quality broadcast. So the ball is squared over to the left, and there's another shot deflected. Averett with the effective clear there, and now it's the counterattack. Connor Taft, and the pass over to number 1, Cooper Case. Case with a vicious, on the receiving end of a vicious hit there. And we're going to have a foul whistled on that. So we're getting ready to have the quick restart here. A nice little leisurely pass from Powers over to Garay. Averett just kind of taking his time right now, moving the ball around, smart, efficient passing. Trying to set something up to start chipping away at this 5-goal deficit before it gets too bad. And don't forget, we do have baseball and softball going on right now as well. We will be trying to bring you updates on those as the contest goes on. And right now, thanks to Ethan Stevens, we know that baseball is trailing Immaculate 5-1 right now in the bottom of the fourth. And softball still a little bit before the start. Not about, not a bad sized crowd here at Frank R. Campbell Stadium. Considering the sun is going down, it is starting to get a little bit chilly out here. And we are down to about 56 degrees with a little bit of a light breeze blowing. Of course, this time of year in Virginia, you never know what you're going to get weather-wise. But today we've been on the beneficiary end of the weather. And we're going to have another stoppage for the shot clock. 72 seconds, of course, 90-second shot clock. And we've got, looks like it's, nope, we've got a sub going. It looked like it might have been a timeout at first, but got a mass substitution. John Calipari style substitution, platoon. So number 77, Duffy. And Duffy dispossessed right at the last second. The battle for the ground ball ensues. Trying to, looks like it's going to stay with Averett. So right now, Methodist, their big strength, passing. 4 goals have been assisted of the 6. Ball is kicked over to number 11, Wood. Wood gets it back over to number 93, Powers. Powers, if you remember, had a heck of a shot on goal in the opening minutes, trying to double down on the Cougars' lead. While the keeper was out, unable to do so, though, courtesy of a great defensive play. And we've got an infraction on Methodist. Will roll with the Cougars. And Prutzman. The good pass over to Duffy. Duffy out of Roanoke, Virginia, Hidden Valley. Not too far from Danville at all. Another solid area for lacrosse up in the Roanoke, New River Valley area. Really about the closest to Southside Virginia, that in Lynchburg, that you're going to get lacrosse. And there's a timeout by Averett. We're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. Methodist with a 6-1 lead. 5 seconds, first quarter. So welcome back here to Danville, Virginia and Daly Field. Sorry about the delay. Started getting a little chilly up here. I had to put my pullover back on. As I mentioned earlier, and that is the end of the first quarter here at Daly Field. Methodist right now in control of things, leading 6-1. We'll be back in a jiff here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sorry about the commotion, trying to get everything adjusted here. I've kind of got a big head, and it's hard to get it settled in sometimes. And so Methodist now moving to your left. Oh, and look at that, number 22, J.R. Newman, pulling some Fred Astaire moves right there with the fancy footwork. He's fancy free and foot loose. And there is a shot and goal from number 4, Hunter Vaughn. And so Vaughn with the goal there. We're going to try to get the stats on that one. I do believe that is a hat trick for Vaughn. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe. I know that was at least his second. So there's the drop back pass. Still plenty of time here. Averett has shown the ability to get the ball down and be able to attack. And so Averett fighting for it right now, but it's going to be a foul whistled on the play. So if you're trying to keep up with live stats right now, we are trying to get that figured out as we speak. We're a little shorthanded as both baseball and softball are away, and some of the staff did have to go down to softball down the way in Meredith, or at Meredith in Raleigh, right next to the fairgrounds, which is a wonderful time, by the way, just in case you've never been. So number 45, Cavanis. And what a shot there. What a rip by number 20, McClendon, but knocked away by Pressman. Pressman, the 5A freshman out of Montgomery, New York, has got the game of a 6'7", somebody that's 6'7". As I mentioned, if you're just joining us, Averett in the white, moving to the right. Methodist in the gold and or yellow and green, moving to your left of screen. And Methodist holding a 7-1 lead in this concluding game of today's lacrosse doubleheader here at Daly Field. Lacrosse on the women's side in its 9th season overall, 6 consecutive in a row after it left for a while and came back. Of course, the men's in their first 6 years as a program. And Averett now with an attempt. It's going to be deflected by a defender there. Number 11, Emmett Wood, did a good job of driving in, but he was met by number 13, Scott Schaefer, the senior defender out of Apex, North Carolina. So Methodist doing a great job of recruiting in its hometown. Just a few minutes away, about a 45-minute drive from Raleigh to Fayetteville. Of course, it's a very exciting drive as it's 70 most of the way, and 70 is merely a suggestion. Number 1, Cooper Case, over to number 22, Connor Taft. Ball is played back behind the net. They were trying to get the reset. It's going to be number 1, Cooper Case. Play back. Number 4, Jay Etheridge. Over, and there's a shot by number 22, Connor Taft. Foul whistled on Methodist. Will stay with Averett. And that was number 77, Duffy. Thought about a shot. Changes his mind. Number 20, Connor Taff. Gets it over to number 4, Etheridge. Etheridge gets it over to Case. Case gets it over to Duffy. Duffy back to Case. Case over to Etheridge. Etheridge on the right side is going to center things with a cross over to Case. Case trying to move in. About a 10-yard sprint. And he's going to find a pass there behind the net to number 51, Davis Moore. And, Averett with a chance now. So it's going to be number 93, Powers, collecting the bounce. And that one is going to go out. Methodist with the ball. Methodist with a 5-0 record in the all-time series between these two sides, as they did spend a few years together in the Old South before the Cougars transitioned over to the Old Dominion. So 10:22 left in the first half here. And ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me. It's been about 3 years since I've broadcast a lacrosse game, so if I get a little tongue-tied, work with me here. I hope you're laughing just like I'm laughing right now. You got to have fun with things in life. You got to have fun. And so it's going to be number 5, Garay, and he's going to get knocked around a little bit. Methodist scoops it up. Number 4, Vaughn. That ball is dropped back to number 8, Leibel. Leibel gets it over to number 4, Vaughn, behind the net. Vaughn gets it over to number 7, Mark Chat. Chat, that ball is going to be dropped off. A nice defensive play there from number 23, Calvin Beavers, the junior defender out of Manassas, Virginia. And it's going to be number 22, Connor Taft. Ball is going to be dropped back. And we've got a stoppage. We're going to have a substitution for the Cougars. So Methodist with the long pass there. Number 44, Breeden. Breeden with it now. He's going to drop it back to number 1, Burnett. Burnett gets it back over to number 44, Breeden. Breeden back to number 1. There's a shot by Burnett. It's going to go wide right. He was always going to have a tough time with that one, as there was quite a few bodies in the middle there to try to look around and also to try to get the ball around. Did a good job just to get the shot off in the first place. And the penalty was an offside on Averett. 30 seconds. Number 7, Mark Chat. And Vaughn with another look. And Vaughn knows how to fire it in there. If I were to ever make a movie resembling Major League and lacrosse, substitute lacrosse into the sport, I think Vaughn could definitely be Ricky Vaughn. And there's the drop back. It's going to be number 4, Vaughn, over the middle. Ball is scooped back up by Methodist. So number 1, Burnett. And another shot on goal, and Prutzman doing another great job there. And once again, a big shout out to the production truck up here, my production crew, or the production crew, bringing you these wonderful shots and views that you're seeing of this game right now. So if you missed it, women's lacrosse, if you are an Averett fan, Peasley moves into, continues her climb up the NCAA all-time scoring list with 7 in the Cougars' win over Brevard College, its former USA South rival. And number 45, number 45, Ryan Cavanis with a goal there, and that's going to extend the Monarchs' lead to 8-1 midway through the second quarter. So here's the restart as they are battling for the faceoff. It's going to go with the Monarchs. And Averett with an opportunity down here now, number 93, Powers. Things getting physical. Averett still with the ball. And it's going to be number 4, Jay Etheridge. Etheridge is going to drop that one back to number 3, Haley. Haley gets it back to number 5, Anthony Gray, the freshman midfielder out of Woodbridge, C.D. Hilton High School. Powerhouse in pretty much any sport is C.D. Hilton. So number 22, Connor Taft, gets back over to number 1, Cooper Case. So number 77, Tyler Duffy, gets it over to number 5, Anthony Gray. And there's a little contact there, and it's going to be a violation called against the Cougars. And that ball is dropped back now to number 8, Leibel. Leibel trying to get down. Leibel with the shot. Not finding pay dirt. Cougars have had quite a few bright spots here so far. Had multiple opportunities, just haven't been able to finish them. Still a lot of time to be played, 30 minutes altogether, 35 to be exact left in this one. So plenty of time for the Cougars to flip the scoreline. And of course, plenty of time for Methodist to add to its advantage as well. We'll just see which one happens. Ball is squared back. Drop back. Over Over to the right side of the field. And let's see. And that is going to be number 6, Cy Horner. Did not see a shot coming on that one, but he gets one off and now has a goal to add to his assist. A goal to go with the dime, and it's now 9-1. 4:30 left in the first half. So that was a shot that looked like it was originally a pass, but Horner almost had goal number 2 there. He looked like he was trying to find one of his teammates, but ends up going past him and not too far from the goal, but it does not find the net. Number 6, Cy Horner. And drop that one back to number 24, Nate Moore. Moore trying to run in. He's got a shot that is deflected. Averett working on trying to get that one cleared. Ooh, and a big collision there. And it was number 2, Nick Bears. Took a big shot there from number 20, McClendon, out of Burlington, North Carolina. Once again, not too far here from Danville. Got a great barbecue place down there called Hersey's. Also a great hot dog place called Zach's. If you are ever in the area, highly recommended both. And looks like Bears is up and walking on his own, but they're still going to want to have a look-see at him. And that was a tough shot he took, and a nice show of sportsmanship right there from Vaughn to give Byers the dap coming off the and Byers really did took a shot there and really absorbed it well, and especially coming over, it kind of came out from the corner. Glad to see him up and moving around. A little bit of a stinger. And it's going to be number 1, Cooper Case. Case gets it over to number 22, Taft. That ball is dropped back. So it's number 1, Cooper Case. Case is going to square that one over. Some quick passing from the Cougars. Let's see what happens. There is a shot from number 33. Or excuse me, number 23, Beavers. And number 22, Connor Taft, with a ricochet second goal off an assist from Etheridge. And Taft, if a state policeman had a radar gun on that shot, I'm sure it would have gotten a reckless driving ticket, as that had some oomph on it. And there's going to be a little hot spot in that net right there, as he took that one from about a good 25, 27 yards. Well, really about 17 yards out by the time you subtract. It's not all the way back on the goal line like it is in women's lacrosse. But a rocket of a shot. Either way, 9-2. Maybe this gives Averett a little bit of confidence, as it's been knocking on the door here lately. Here in the last few minutes. And it's going to be dropped back to Case. Over to number 17. Excuse me, number. And there's the save. And here's another opportunity. Uh-oh. And that's going to be number 4, Jay Etheridge. And that one just a little bit too much air. So we're running down to 158 now. And there's a save from Methodist goalkeeper. Methodist trying to get the quick counterattack off. Averett picks up the ball. Let's see what's going on here. See if the Cougars can make up something. And it's going to be number 4, Etheridge. And that ball is stripped away, and it's going to be Methodist now, number 12. And there's a little bit of confusion as that ball was dispossessed. Number 4, Etheridge now. Etheridge trying to move down. Great defensive play there by the Monarchs. Ground ball being battled for. Won by the Cougars, number 5, Garay. And we've got a stoppage whistled on the play. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an injury down here right now as I believe it was number 28, Bennett. Took a shot with the stick there. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network. Methodist holding a 9-2 lead, just over a minute left in the first half.
Averett University provides all you need for your future through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential. With flexible online and on-campus programs, affordable tuition, and over 50 majors and programs. Visit allaverett.com. Are you all in?
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Daly Field at Frank R. Campbell Stadium. And I tell you one thing, I never ceased to be amazed coming over here. I remember when I started in 2014 over here as a graduate assistant, the turf field was already in place, but still had the old stands over on the far side of the field, the old press box. Took about a year after joining on, but they were finally able to get the stadium built, this new beautiful press box, new beautiful stands. And I've been to a lot of Division III stadiums in and around the Virginia and North Carolina areas and have yet to find one, maybe Guilford, that matches Averett's facility. But even at that, Guilford, Frank R. Campbell really gives Guilford's-Field a run for its money. And, of course, when you join the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, it comes with you have to have a certain level of quality in your fields, in your facilities, also in your programs. The academics have to be on point. It's not just anybody is accepted into the ODAC. And so the fact that Averett is currently competing in the ODAC speaks a lot to where Averett has come. I remember going to soccer camp over here as a little kid. And that is going to be the end of the first half. And Methodist holding a 9-2 lead over Averett. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break and hopefully have some stats for you here on the halftime show brought to you by Jersey Mike's. We're going to take a brief breath, but we'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And what a beautiful sunset we have here at Daly Field. I wish you guys could see it right now. And we got play restarted here in Danville, 9-2 Methodist, heading into the third quarter. It's been an interesting first half. And other news across the board, right now, Averett softball with a 5-0 lead over Brevard in the bottom of the second. And Averett baseball on the wrong end of an 8-3 scoreline in the bottom of the sixth. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't say it enough. I have got to give it up to this wonderful production crew that I've got up here. Mr. Hendricks, Mr. Stevens, and Mr. Cillian. You heard me say it a lot on the women's broadcast, but I'll say it again. They're making me sound good up here. And there's a shot and a nice save there. Literally a shoestring save from Prutzman. But as I was saying, those three, they make me sound good, which is not easy to do, especially when it comes to lacrosse. And so we're going to have illegal contact there. Whistled against Averett, Methodist ball. And there's a shot that sails high. And we do, as I was saying earlier, we've got a beautiful sunset over here, especially on the south end of the field. It's been a busy day of action here for Averett University Athletics as women's lacrosse kicked things off. Then you had softball, and followed by baseball, and then, of course, we have men's lacrosse. So, like I said, very busy day, but such is the spring season here at Averett. No, undoubtedly the busiest of the seasons here. And another nice save there by Prutzman, the freshman goalkeeper out of Montgomery, New York, Valley Central. Averett trying to get it on the reset now. They have cleared the ball out on the far side. Ball dropped back. Hear the crowd trying to get into it down there, trying to keep their Cougars hyped. Trying to keep them up. Still plenty of time in this game. Never will forget one game I'd come over here to broadcast, and it was a women's game, and women's got up 15-4. It's getting midway through the fourth, and forgot who the opponent was. I believe it was William Peace, if I'm not mistaken, but came storming back and scored 7 goals, made it a contest, and Averett ended up getting the win. And there's a shot that's just a little off target, number 22, Taft, who has half of the goals here tonight. Of course. And number 12 there, I was going to say Portia Davis. That is the women's team. Number 12, Patrick Roll. A good shot there. Just a little bit. Didn't get his head down over it enough and sent it over the goal. And there's a rip by number 1, Burnett, but it is knocked away. Nice save there by Prutzman. 9-2 is your score. 10:38 remaining in the third period. And another nice save by Prutzman. And he is being kept busy here tonight. Being kept busier than Santa's elves during Christmas. Or I guess I should say an Amazon Prime driver or Amazon driver during Christmas. Would be a more appropriate term. More appropriate reference, that is. And looked like a shot there from number 4, Hunter Vaughn. We're going to go ahead and give it a shot. And there's a shot by number 8, Jesse Leibel, pushed away by Prutzman. And he has been solid. Of course, a lot of saves is kind of a dubious honor, as it means you were tested quite a bit. But also a lot of honor in it too, as you withstood every one of those tests, or withstood many of them to come up with a high number of saves. Had 25 against Roanoke, and here's a shot by number 20, McClendon, once again pushed away. And looking down here on the fence around the field, all the sponsors, all the people that we have that are just in this community that are big supporters of Averett and make everything we do over here possible. Their support is greatly, greatly appreciated. Chick-fil-A, Commonwealth Home Healthcare, Goodyear, Kickback, Buffalo Wild Wings, Edible Arrangements, Piedmont, Printing and Graphics, State Farm, First National, Daily 7, Robert Woodall, Danville Registering Bee. Just a few of those sponsors. And, oh, there's the rip from number 44, Breeden. And it goes errant. And number 44, once again, Breeden has a look. Breeden out of Pasadena, Maryland. Freshman attacker, 6'2", 205 pounds. An opposing guy down there. So number 1, Jacob Burnett. And number 44, Breeden, after about 4 attempts, is going to finally find the net. 10-2, 8:25 left in the third quarter. And we're going to go and see if we can get you some stats here real quick. See what we can find. And I know one thing, we're not going to find it in baseball, so we're going to Averett trying to set something up in front of goal here. number 77, Duffy. Duffy's going to get it over to number 1, Case. And there's a shot from number 5, Gray. Battle ensues. And Methodist is going to get hit with the call. Averett squaring the ball across. And Averett with a shot. The ball is saved. Looked like Duffy. .709 left in the third quarter. So Methodist trying to get the ball downfield. Able to do so. Vaughn, a nice pass over to number 6, Horner. And shot is saved, or pushed away, that is, by Brutzman. Vaughn now in front of goal. And we've got a foul. It kind of looked like Vaughn might have flopped a little bit there to try to draw the foul. But either way, it is a foul. That's what the call is going to be on the field. So Vaughn, that ball is going to be dropped back down to number 6, Horner. So we had a hold on the last foul there, called on Averett. Ball is squared across, dropped back to number 44, Breeden. Breeden is going to get it out to number 6, Horner, who has a hard attempt low, pushed away. And we've got a little extracurricular activity down there. And Methodist is going to get hit with a foul there. Let's see if there's going to be a card. Will be no cards brought out, just a plain foul. Looks like the ball is around the football 28-yard line. Going to be number 1, Cooper Case, going to scoop it up. It's actually going to move up to the football 47, 46 and a half, but who's counting? So Case over to Taft. Taft back over to Case. So holding and a push whistled against Methodist there, leading to the foul. And Duffy over to Powers. Back to, and it's ground ball collected by number 93, Powers. Powers trying to get around. He's going to drop it back to number 22, Taft. gotten over to number 77, Tyler Duffy. So Duffy gets it back over to number 4, Etheridge. See what Etheridge can do. He is dispossessed, and he's going to draw a foul. So Etheridge is going to get the restart at about the football 10-yard line. Excuse me, about the football 13. And reset. Ball is dropped back. It's going to be number 77, Duffy. Duffy gets it over to number 22, Taff. Taff back to Duffy. Duffy back to Taff. And Methodist whistled for a push there. And I believe that was number 1, Cooper Case, with the shot there for the Cougars. And Methodist quickly on the counter. Once again, would like to thank you for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network as we are slowly winding things down here for the afternoon, a busy afternoon that is, for the Averett staff here at Daly Field in Danville, Virginia. Daly Field located just a few miles from Averett's main campus. On Main Street. And Method is moving down, and that is number 20, Mitchell McClendon. Fires a rocket. It's Apollo 14 right there, and that one is in the back of the net. 11-12 is your score. So it's been fun to jump back in here and get my lacrosse legs back a little bit. It's probably a good thing that we do disable the YouTube comments, though, because there probably would not be some nice ones about my performance here today. Of course, those comments can be fun to read sometimes. So number 11, Emmett Wood. Get it over to number 5, Garay. Garay gets it back over to number 11, Wood. 2 minutes and 43 seconds now remaining. Ball is dropped back to Garay. Some great moves there by Garay. Just needed some help. Does a great job of dancing around the defense. Methodist right now passing the ball around, trying to set up its 12th goal of the game. 11-2 is the score. Averett has held Methodist to just 2 goals so far this half. But unfortunately for the Cougars, that's just as many goals as they have scored. Going to have a quick meeting. Have a quick request for a stoppage of the clock, and now it's right back up. As I said earlier, that is not a job I miss, working the clock for any sport. So number 34, Chris O'Foley. Chris O'Foley. So it's going to be number 7, Mark Chat. There's a shot saved. And Averett trying to get the ball downfield. And a long pass from Pearson will not find its intended target. Looked like Case. Looked like he wanted Case there. So running down in the last few seconds here on the third quarter, which is very welcome because I have a chicken sandwich here that is calling my name. And so Lauren Nelson with a three-run home run for a softball to give the Cougars an 8-0 lead in the bottom of the fourth. And Averett trying to add to its total right there. Just about did it, but a nice clearance. And that's going to do it here for the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network.
Is inclusive, encompassing, inspiring. Averett University provides all you need for a future you deserve through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential with flexible online and on-campus programs like our newest programs in entrepreneurship and psychology, with more coming soon, with affordable tuition and 24/7 support. It all leads to you becoming a catalyst for positive change. Visit allaverett.com. Averett University. Are you all in?
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we start the final 15 minutes. Averett baseball losing 8-3 right now in the bottom of the seventh. Meanwhile, softball looking to split its 2 games today. They currently have an 8-0 lead over Brevard, thanks to Lauren Nelson's 3-run dinger. Trying to do my best Boston accent right there. I don't think I really hit it on the head that well, but I will work on it. He dropped the R and added an A. Oh, and a nice pass there from Methodist. Little one-touch. And that is number 7, Chat. That one sails back to the corner flag. Exciting to see how much this Averett University athletics program is growing. Of course, announced earlier in the year, the addition of men's volleyball coming in the spring of 2024. Also added indoor track, and there's a heck of a rip by number 22, Taff. Taff was doing a little headhunting on that one, but does not find any luck. And that is going to be number 2, Jake Bandler, the junior out of Warrenton, Virginia, out of Fauquier County. Up near the D.C. area, right outside. That ball is squared across. And there's a shot and a goal. Number 20, McClendon, adds to his total. And McClendon coming out of Burlington, North Carolina. So somewhat of a homecoming game for him and Cy Horner this year, or tonight. As both not very far away at all from Danville, Burlington. Both about 45 minutes, give or take. Also out of Burlington is freshman defender Mason Davis of the Southern Alamance. And so Averett now with the ball back, trying to set something up on the attack. And he's going to lose his stick on that one. Have to go back quickly and pick it up. And it's going to be number 22, Connor Taft. Taft trying to switch fields. So Nick Bears is back into the game for the Cougars, and he actually has the ball right now. It's going to be number 22, Taft, trying to, and Bears with a nice spin move. Gives it back to number 22, Taft. Taft gets it over to number 5, Garay. Garay over to number 7, Hobbs. So Dawson Hobbs into the game, the sophomore out of Newport News, Virginia. Got some family down in the Tidewater region. Was down there back in October. Another place that is growing surprisingly fast. Virginia Beach, of course, the biggest city in Virginia. And there's a shot from number 22, Taft. Does not find the intended target. And number 7, Dawson Hobbs. Ball's going to be squared across here. And it's going to be number 1, Case. Case with a rip. Will not hit pay dirt, but number 22, Taft, is there. And we're going to have a little extracurricular activity. And Averett will get whistled. So Anthony Mackin in his 6th season here at Averett. Came along my last year here as a GA. He and his lovely wife, Teresa, great people. See him a lot out at the baseball games during the summer. it's going to be number 14, Matt Bentz. So drops it back to number 1, Jacob Burnett. Burnett over to number 44, R.J. Breeden. And a little bit of confusion down here as Pressman had some trouble picking it up, and Methodist number 7, Mark Chatt, not letting sleeping dogs lie as he stays aggressive right there. The ball is going to get over to Duffy. Duffy back over to Etheridge. Etheridge back to Duffy. Duffy back to Etheridge. Etheridge over to number 5, Garay, the freshman midfielder out of Woodbridge, Virginia. C.D. Hilton Gray is out of. In an unrelated matter, there was also the high, and there is a rip by number 77, Tyler Duffy, the freshman attacker at a nearby Roanoke. Nothing falling though. And we keep ticking away here on this one. 8:46 left. 12-2 is the score. If things hold up, Methodist would move to 2-3 on the year. Averett would drop to 1-2. 1-2. Averett picks up action again on Wednesday when it hosts Husson University at 5 p.m. And we're going to have a stoppage on the play there. Foul whistled against Averett. And Methodist quickly getting the ball back down the field. Nothing doing. So Averett started its year off on the right foot with a 21-3 win over Warren Wilson. And dropped a 24-5 contest against Roanoke. So Averett, before tonight's game, had 26 attempts on goal. And there's an unnecessary roughness call on the field. So that's a 2-minute penalty. Ball is dropped right back in front of the net. Methodist and Prutzman, there is no doubt in my mind that for Averett, Prutzman gets the Player of the Game award. As he has been tested quite a few times here. And a diving shot there by number 11, Emmett Wood. And you're talking about Hart right there. That was Hart with a capital H and a capital T. And we've got a timeout on the field. 7:09 remaining. Methodist leads 12-2. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network.
Averett University provides all you need for your future through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential. With flexible online and on-campus programs, affordable tuition, and over 50 majors and programs. Visit allaverett.com. Are you all in?
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Daly Field at Frank R. Campbell Stadium, where we are just over 7 minutes remaining in this one. Methodist holding a 12-2 lead. Always a privilege to come back over here to Averett and call some games, even though lacrosse is definitely the weaker of the sports in my wheelhouse, but say practice makes perfect, and that may not be the case in my situation, but it definitely helps. And so Prusman showing some concentration right there as that one kind of lingered in the air a little bit. Kind of like that Cranberries tune from the 90s. So we're back here once again. Excuse me, give me a second. I put my tasty chicken sandwich over top of my notes there. Not a good place for it. There's a rip and no goal. Hard to believe that we are 3 months into 2023 and also at the start of spring season. The final full season of athletics here. But such are the cards that such is the situation, as that analogy is not very applicable to this situation. And number 44, Breeden, takes a cut out of that one. Does not find pay dirt, though. Breeden an underhand hurl. Almost looked like he was bowling with that shot. But goes to the right. His drive back to number 1, Jacob Burnett. And we've got a whistle on the play. Foul against Methodist. Quick restart from Averett. And that's going to be number 8 there, Sterling. And he's going to take a shot there from about 21 yards out. Be number 4, Etheridge. It's going to get squared over to number 77, Duffy. Duffy back over to Etheridge. Over to number 11, Wood. He's going to drop that one back. He's going to get over to number 4, Etheridge. Over to Duffy. Duffy trying to move things in. Nice spin move. But he is met by a couple of defenders. And we're doing a good job of moving the ball in right now. There's a shot, and that is a goal. Number 4, Etheridge. Number 4, Etheridge with the goal there. That's going to make it a 12-3 contest now. 4:40, and it's a blink of an eye right there. And just looking here at the different angles right now in this broadcast, really continue to be amazed at all the different angles that we are able to bring you here. And in the words of my dad, perfectly put, said, oops, as Methodist coughed that one up, able to get the ball back, though. Methodist trying to spread things out. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in this contest. A long switch. And that was always going to be impressive if Hernandez could bring that one in. And number 34, Chris Ofuli, kind of bullying his way through there and fires a shot. Saved, though, Methodist with another attempt that is also saved. Moving down into the final 2 minutes of this one, 3:24 left on the clock. And as I said earlier, it's been a pleasure and a privilege to be back over here bringing you guys some Averett University action, athletics action. And thank you again. Thank you so much for joining us here. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of different places you guys could be. And don't look now, but Averett is on the attack. Number 5, Garay. Shot is deflected. Methodist now trying to come back on the counter. And it's going to be number 15, Mason Davis now. Excuse me, I was number 5, Allman. Ground ball being fought for. It's number 14, Luis Martinez. And another long switch. Ball is going to go out of bounds. .212 left in the contest. If this result holds, as I mentioned earlier, Methodist goes to 2-3 on the year. Averett falls to 1-2. But Macklin has to be feeling good to have that first win in under his belt so early in the season. As I mentioned, this is just the Cougars' 3rd game of the year. So we were talking about Burlington, North Carolina earlier. Averett also with a player from Burlington in Cameron Shattuck. Also sophomore Aaron Haley, hailing from Ringgold, Virginia. He was a member of Westover Christian's state champion baseball team. So a couple of local kids Averett's way as well. And of course, a couple from Chester up in the Richmond area. They got Duffy from Roanoke. Then you got Andrew Gwynn from Fairlawn, came out of Blacksburg High School. Fairlawn right across the bridge from where I did my undergrad work at Radford University. Radford's men's basketball team is playing in the USA South semifinals today in Charlotte. Excuse me, as one of my production guys, Ethan Stevens, just informed me, I did say USA South instead of the Big South. As one of those insert foot in mouth statements right there, which I'm sure probably right now Drew Wilson and his staff will probably be very willing to buy me a T-shirt that has that phrase and image, exact as I've done it quite a few times in my 9 years coming over here to Averett, covering games. But as I said earlier, if you cannot laugh at yourself, then what are you doing? If you can't have fun, what are you doing? So we've got a foul on the field down here. Whistled against the Cougars. Moving down into the final 1 minute and 28 seconds of play. I will have to say one thing. I am proud of myself. I was a little worried about coming over here. I have not credited Averett for still playing in the USA South. And there's an attempt from number 5, Allman. And a little extracurricular activity. And actually, ball's gonna go out of bounds there. Ball belongs to Averett. Quick restart as we are now under a minute. And there's a long haul. I think that's probably the U-Haul pass of the game right there. And Averett trying to make one last run towards goal here. Number 44, Chris Chimera, midfielder out of Floral Park, New York. Ball is squared over, 15, 14. And there's a shot, oh, and just left. And Cooper Case fired that one in there. And there's one last shot, but it's going to be deflected away. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this contest. Methodist picks up a 12-3 win over Averett in non-conference action. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us and this USA South Conference doubleheader today. On behalf of myself and my amazing crew, Landon Hendricks, Ethan Stevens, and Stanley Cillian, would like to thank you guys for tuning in. Also, have to give a shout out to Assistant Sports Information Director Ashley Thornton for her excellent work as well, and the rest of this Averett University Athletics crew. On behalf of us all, thank you for tuning in here tonight, and we will catch you next time here on the Averett Sports Network.